Paludarium. Part plants, part water, all fun. So let's just do a quick recap of some of the things that we're going to be putting in, hopefully today. I don't know, we're in Wisconsin, and I mean, daylight is fleeting here in January. It's amazing. But, okay, so we have the tank. This is the Terra extra tall mini. So it's mini because it doesn't hold a lot of water volume. When I was looking at other paludariums, what I hope to build someday is like one of those giant, like things that you would see in a zoo, holding like geckos and stuff. Like that's in game. This is proof of concept. So we have that rocking with us. Also, we have some different pieces of Malaysian wood. We're gonna try to work this in. I really liked it for its dark color. It doesn't have to be Malaysian wood. A lot of people use spider wood. If you try to use something that you just find in the yard, you should probably just let it sit for a while just to make sure that it's safe and you're not bringing any pests into your home. I got all of mine at local aquatic reptile or fish stores. And then the other piece that we're gonna be working with, a cool rock. That's about all you need to know about this one. I just really liked it. Sand, a no-brainer. Some people use like fluval stratum or like some kind of bioactive soil. It looks like little black pebbles that you can usually find at most fish stores, even like larger big box stores. But I don't plan on doing a lot of my plants actually in the water. I want the water volume to be available for the fish. So I'm gonna be using mostly plants outside, and because a lot of the plants I have picked out might have some variegation in them, I wanted a light sand because I felt like it would kind of bring out the lighter colors from that variegation a little bit better. In terms of some of the logistics, to be able to get things to stick, I'm using the Gorilla Glue Clear Grip and then a Loctite Clear Silicone. These specifically were called out as being aquarium safe on different forums, and then Great Stuff Pond and Stone. So this is a spray foam that I'm going to use to try to cement a lot of my stuff into place. Last but not least, we are going to try to set up some misters, and I ended up going with a filter system that just had a water spout that I liked. A lot of folks in paludariums or some larger vivariums do like to build waterfalls. It didn't seem that hard, but that will be future Leah's problem. I wanted a lot of these little space I have to be for fish so that I don't cram them, and I didn't really want to try to have to build the waterfall and worry about any runoff or anything like that for the plants that I'm putting in. So future Leah is gonna have to figure that out. I think it's just a pump tubing in an L bracket. I mean, it's not like it's hard, but whatever. But all right, let's get into setup. At first, we're starting by taking just a white marker and making a little dash where I think that the water line is actually going to come up to. This is because we're going to be using that foam and ultimately pressing some cocoa fiber and sphagnum moss into it, and I don't actually want that going into the water. It's really just for the plants. So that's what that was for. And now we're going to take that clear silicone and put it all along the highest points at the back so that we can actually try to stick the foam to the tank itself. And this is where I kind of messed up because I did not read the instructions per my usual. And there's actually like a 2-hour drying time for that like silicone to actually cure. And at this point it was already getting a little bit later in the evening, so that one kind of took me out. Now, actually, after weighing everything down too, I realized those lovely little lines I made, yeah, they were completely on the top of the tank. So after I set all of this up, I actually had to go in, take it out, and reset it. But anyways, here is probably the most grueling part of the setup, actually. I could not for the life of me find pre-shredded cocoa fiber,
but I really liked the natural look of it. So this is actually a brick of cocoa fiber that's like compressed together, and I used a baking tin like for bread and soaked it, gave it enough to expand, and then would tear it apart and shred it in between my fingers. This, while annoying and very repetitive, was also a little bit therapeutic, if I'm being honest. And so I mixed about like half cocoa fiber, half sphagnum moss, that I would also grind up a little bit between my fingers and pull any larger like twiggy material out of. Just try to make, again, that backing. Yeah, this is exactly what it looks like. After forgetting to film, actually putting in the black pond spray foam and pressing in this little like cocoa fiber and moss mixture, it's really just a matter of making sure that I get as much of the excess out as possible. The reason being is you don't really want that falling into the water. It can mess with water clarity, and I don't really want it breaking down in the water. But since it's foam, anything that wasn't pressed down and like flattened actually like bubbled up in a way that I kind of think was a weird texture. I didn't actually love this part, but I did love cutting into it with scissors and making little pockets that I can try to put roots for more plants. Is it going to be deep enough? I don't actually know, but for a first tank, it's okay to make mistakes. Might as well make them all now.
Alright, so this is our final build. We have the marble queen pothos, which falls into the tank, sits on this piece of wood that's going around the back. We ended up turning it around a few times to make room for the filter, which had to go horizontal because it was too tall vertically and would catch too much air. And that's going to be the future home for all the little fish once the water's ready. So in the next video, we'll go through adding a lot of other plants. The goal is to add them to all of these little nooks and crannies in the wood. And I think that'll be so beautiful in the light. And we'll also set up a misting system to keep everything nice and happy because a lot of the roots will probably be exposed in this build. But if you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. It's really exciting to set up, and I'm really glad you're coming along with me. I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks, bye.